Okay.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is Danny.
And Wanda.
Deep South Homestead. We're on a little bit early today. Got a lot of weather headed our way.
As usual.
As usual. It doesn't matter if we're going to live stream.
The weather's coming.
There's going to be weather.
So
I've come to the conclusion that it's all about weather now. I mean, there's nothing else in life to be concerned about.
We got to change our times, I guess.
If we change to another day, it would be weather.
I know, but it seems like Saturday night at 8 o'clock Central.
Hey, Dolly. Hey,
we have issues.
Country homestead preacher.
And we always have issues. Almost every Saturday night.
It doesn't matter.
It's either right before
Christy,
or after.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And we're looking at some possible really rough weather within, a couple hours?
Oh, there's Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael. You need to come see us.
That's my grandson, y'all. Michael Burt.
Tell Michael hello.
Everybody tell Michael hello. Yeah.
Yeah, the weather, how bad is it supposed to get this afternoon?
I don't know. They play it up and then they take it down. They play it up and they take it down. They just say we got wind advisories, 1 to 3 inches of rain, and that's nothing unusual for us.
The wind was worse last week. Last week we had awful winds.
Yeah,
this week is nothing.
They're saying it's going to continue to get like that. But anyway, today is our lunch chat, whatever you want to call it.
That's all I called it, guys. I'm out of ideas. I mean, I foraged for my lunch. Basically, I went and picked some huckleberries off one tree at the cabin. I got what maybe half a pint.
You got like half a pint off of one tree of huckleberries.
That is just, I mean, that's amazing.
Some of them were almost as big as blueberries.
Well, mini blueberries.
Yeah, well, not our premiers, but a normal blueberry.
Yeah, little blueberries.
A normal blueberry.
And so I have salad, and if you saw the thumbnail, it's a variety. I got lettuce from a container we're growing. I got lettuce from my Greenstalk vertical planter. I got asparagus out of our asparagus beds, yellow tomatoes out of the greenhouse, the big greenhouse. What else? I got Malabar spinach out of my mini greenhouse. I had carrots that I went to Danny's bed and robbed a couple. We got to finish our carrot harvest. What else? Oh, moringa. Some people ask what we do with moringa. I just walk by and get a leaf or two, and Danny does too, off and on, and eat it. And it's in the what do you call it? The big greenhouse. So I just broke off a stem and took all the leaves and added to my salad. And I added some huckleberries to my salad, because y'all, if y'all never added huckleberries to your salad, you're missing something. I'm talking, it's awesome. And then if you see my grocery haul over on CRAZY DAZES, I have almonds, sliced almonds added into my salad. I have enough almonds for a year.
Okay. Ms. Ashley, we will definitely keep your father in prayer since he's back in the hospital. His cancer has come back. Guys, we ask y'all to keep him lifted up in prayer. I don't know what the deal is. Well, I do know what the deal is. I mean, it's our environment, it's our food sources, it's everything today. But lots of people have cancer, and we want to remember them, because that's a serious thing. It's a serious. Let's see. Deborah E says the potatoes I planted last fall are not up yet. In Oregon. Will they come up? Probably not. I'm just guessing.
Dig down and see what they look like. Just dig down
and see, but more than likely they've rotted.
If they hadn't rotted, I mean, but the ground needs to be warm for them to.
Sue says she's getting to plant her brassicas today. It's too late for brassicas here to plant them. Anyway, my plate. I don't know if you can see my plate or not. Probably. I feel like I'm in the dark in here, but I have a grill cooked hamburger patty. I have our English peas from our garden. I have our carrots from our garden. I have sharp cheddar cheese, which is probably one of the only ones I can eat. And I have fresh carrots from our garden. Wanda picked one today, I'm guessing, and she cut it up for me. And then I have a cupcake here. That's a pecan It's like a miniature pecan pie made by Miss Amanda from Freedom Acres when she was here. She made me a whole pile of them.
And we froze them.
And every so often, I get a treat from Miss Amanda.
And y'all, we want y'all to remember Amanda. She had ended up back at the doctor's office yesterday, had some issues, but they sent her home with some meds for infection and nausea. So hopefully she'll be on the mend. She's had a rough 2 or 3 days with it, and she thought she was doing good and then had a setback, and now she's hopefully on the mend. I haven't talked to her this morning. I was letting her sleep in. So
well, that was a pretty serious surgery that she had. So.
Yes. And so we wanted to remember her too.
Yeah.
What else?
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments as they come through. Grossmania said his dad's surgery went well and he came home today. Good. Always good to hear a good report. Christy said lost her dad to cancer in 1994. I've lost a spouse to cancer. I can feel for the ones who's lost.
And I'm just sitting here watching you eat and reading comments.
Oh, okay.
I'm not paying any attention. I'm just kind of dazed out, just
daydreaming on me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're working on the cabin this morning.
No, you aren't. You are.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry. I'm working on the cabin this morning. Decided to take a break and come and do a live show. And, we know the weather's coming, so I want to try to get as much done as I can before the weather gets there. We were actually putting in the styrofoam baffles in the top of it right now. I don't know if we'll have a video about that on Patreon or not, are we?
Probably, but it may be 2 weeks or better.
Yeah, most of the videos right now are over on Patreon about the build on the cabin. I did a talk this morning. Did a talk this morning about a food supply again over on Patreon. It's not looking good, guys. I really wish that it didn't have to be like it is in our country and in the world. This is more of a global issue that I spoke about today, and how it's affecting. There's things going on in our country that the news is not covering, and I tried to talk about that a little bit because it's really, really ramping up, not looking good for our future.
Tasmania said they're building a second raised bed since the plants are doing so much better in those. We've got containers that we've started. We've got a few raised beds. The wood on the raised beds here doesn't last that long. So Danny's got, one at least we need to redo where the carrots were. The salad is great, guys. But our lettuce will go away probably within the next week, if not 2. I keep saying that, but we keep having these cool snaps, and the lettuce keeps hanging on. But once it turns hot and things stay hot, then we'll lose all our lettuce probably. And I'll take everything out of the Greenstalk that's in there except for my tomatoes. Y'all, my tomatoes look awesome, but I didn't get to put pictures up of that, I don't think. But I did do some of the foraging.
Well, let me catch this. We got a praise report. Ms. Brenda Collins said that her daughter's biopsy from her bladder came back cancer-free, but she still has a cancerous tumor in her kidney. Ms. Brenda around here, and she says still prayers needed, so y'all still keep her in your prayer. But there is a procedure being done around here where they go in and freeze tumors inside kidneys. And they're having a lot of success with it. So it might be something that you might talk to your doctor about if they hadn't already talked to you about it.
All things good, so their Star of David's up about 1 inch. We haven't even planted.
We haven't even planted okra yet. Our ground is so cold. It's just unreal how cold it is. Let's see here. Gosmania says I have romaine and I can eat enough to keep up with it. Good.
That's what's happening with mine.
Yeah.
I would have to eat lettuce like several times a day to keep up with all the lettuce that comes out of that Greenstalk and the one container that we have. And it's amazing. If you like lettuce, containers and like the vertical planter are the way to go to keep some, at least during the winter, if you have a place to keep it from freezing.
I had a question back here. Let me back up. I hate to miss people's questions. Sierra Moxley said, because of the grand solar minimum and weather seems to be a lot warmer earlier, do you think it'd be okay to put my tomato plants in the ground a couple of weeks early? Going to have to adjust our calendar. It depends on where you live at, Sierra.
They can put something.
You can put covers over them if you need to. That's what a lot of people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be possible that you could, if you've got something to put over them to keep them covered.
Now, mine out at the candy corn cottage or cabin, whatever. Those tomatoes, I don't have anything over them right now, but if it looks like the next 2 days are going to be cold enough, I don't think we'll even get a frost. But
no, we shouldn't get any frost.
I don't know if it'll bother them. I have plastic containers to go over them for the night, and then open them back up during the day if I need to.
She said she lives on zone 7A and 7B on the border, planted in black plastic. So
it's kind of like ours.
It's kind of like ours. I believe you'd probably be okay, but just be prepared
to cover it.
If you need to, like put something around them or whatever, you know. And I think you would be fine. We've got ours out. Brenda says wilted lettuce with green onions and bacon grease ain't nothing no better. And let me tell you something. That's right there now. That's easy.
I've still got a lot of chard too, and the chard is done. It is fabulous.
I got to start eating. My food's gonna get cold.
I love to take the chard because it's so colorful, and chop it up in pieces. I chop the stems and everything in the chard, and I add it to my stir fry. And so we have jars of stir fry meat. I can drain that, put the meat in there. I can throw in a few carrots and the chard, and it's beautiful and it tastes so good, don't it?
Yes, it does.
So it's great to be able to use your greens that way and learn to eat them. And sometimes kids won't eat them just as salad.
But if they can see them growing,
they're more likely
to eat them. I'm gonna, was this going to come up all right? Well, it ain't. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff that Ms. Wanda has in her salad right now.
Minus the rose.
Minus the rose. Strawberry. And the strawberry. We ate the strawberry a while ago.
Asparagus, different types of lettuce, Malabar carrots, moringa, and the huckleberries. Tomatoes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have, where'd it go? There we go. Here is Ms. Wanda's candy corn. It's finally starting to pop through the ground.
I only planted it like, 1 week ago?
Yeah. Well, corn doesn't take long.
And I don't have a perfect stand yet, but I saw quite a bit of it coming up. So I took one lonely little piece, and we're going to watch it grow over the next little while if it grows. Okay. So that's candy corn.
Now, what we're talking about here is Ms. Wanda's
sweet corn cabin garden.
Her candy corn cabin garden. Okay, now here is her peas that she has coming up. They look like they're doing pretty good.
I've got almost a good, not quite a perfect row yet, but these are popping up faster. I think these may be the zucchini beans or either the, there was 2 different peas, beans. I mean, I planted like 4 or 5 different varieties, but
yeah,
the zucchini or either the field peas, one of the 2.
Okay, and then of course we have, ta-da! We have a strawberry, and that's what we ate a while ago. So they are beginning to get ready. We did not really take care of our strawberries this fall. We did not go back in and transplant them like we usually do. So these are old plants left over from last year. So we probably will not get many strawberries this year. So, okay. Debbie's asking, how is Ms. Amanda doing? Well, she's had to go back to the doctor we were talking about a while ago and had to have some meds given to her for a bladder infection. And she seems to be on the mend. We haven't actually talked to her this morning, giving her some time to rest.
Yeah, but yesterday evening she was feeling better already. It was starting to help a little.
Golfmania said they made a vlog of building their raised bed. They got to edit it and load it, and they'll have it up where y'all can see it.
Y'all, these channels like Golfmania and Old School with a Modern Twist. I'm trying to see who all's in here. Mark Kreger. I can never say his last name. Kreger. I'm looking from a distance. I know all these have some content on their channel. Heaven Bound Homestead, I think, does. Time to Sow, I can't remember for sure or not.
Country Homestead Preacher.
Country Homestead Preacher has, he's got a good bit. Annabelle was in one.
Annabelle was in a video the other day. I watched it.
So y'all need to go see Annabelle on Country Homestead Preacher.
That girl's going to become a great gardener, I can tell you.
She likes gardening.
She loves her gardening. Let's see here. Heaven Bound says my Danny corn is 3 inches tall. All right. It's good to see it came up.
Your daughter's in line waiting to get Trey from school.
Oh, they're going to release him? Is the weather going to get that bad?
We heard from someone in, I forgot what state. But anyway, in another state, I think it was Texas, but I won't say 100%. I think it was yesterday. Days run together, so y'all don't quote me. But anyway, she sent a message that in all her years, her husband working for this company for like 20 years.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yes.
20 years, they have never let them out off work for weather, unless it's like snowing profusely and they send them home before it quits, so they don't get snowed in. But yesterday or the day before, whichever day I got the message, her husband's company let them out early before a storm because they thought they were going to be getting a lot of hail, and they didn't want their employees on the road. She says that's the first time ever they have done that. So I'm not heard back to see if they did have any or whatever, but there was a lot of hail going to be in this storm that was moving through, seemed like. At least in Texas. And I think it was Texas.
Christy says, I think southern Mississippi and southern Alabama have the higher tornado risks.
Is that why?
That's probably about right. I mean,
Yeah, that's why they're letting them out at noon. That's what she said. Hi, Eyes to See Ministry.
Florida Homesteader says they're predicting a lot of hail there tomorrow.
Oh, Annabelle wants you to come and help her dad build a cabin on their farm.
Oh, on their farm.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Now, that would be a trip. I really would.
We need to try it. Well, we want to get to Alabama anyway. We have promised Scratch Made we were going to get over there. Well, that hasn't happened yet. I just got to pin this one down and get him off the farm.
Well, with my heart conditions, I can't.
He hates to ride very much at all.
I can't do a lot of riding. It just
But I can pin him down every now and then and talk him into something. And then we have a week of recouping.
Yeah. Eyes to See Ministry said they watched our Patreon video today and said it is so true. Yes, Tori, I do not know why the mainstream media is not. Well, I do know why, but I mean, it saddens me that the MSM will not cover what's actually going on. And I think one of the reasons they didn't cover a lot of what I talked about was the simple fact that
scare tactics.
Well, they're afraid that people will start panicking in this country, and they don't want that. So to them, they would rather just keep it, keep it quiet. And, hello, Miss Denise. I see her jumping in here.
North Star
lovely lady.
Greetings from Minnesota. This is Kathy. I know we'll get our tornado turn, but glad we don't have to deal with that yet. Prayers for the South. Thank you. Now, and Neil from the UK. He's 11 degrees Celsius in Northumberland. I'm not sure. Going to be a beautiful Easter. I think we're going to have decent weather after this passes through today, or today and tonight.
Well, it's supposed to be late this evening. They said it could be pretty. But Time to Sow says he can't even watch the MSM anymore. It's all lies. It is.
We haven't watched any of that.
We haven't watched any of that, and I guess it's been years
since Danny and I got married.
Yeah.
We don't even watch the local news anymore unless we think it's weather related, and we turn it on, and they only show the weather if you, like right now, if that storm's coming in here in the next couple hours, we might get something on the news then.
Jan says, hello, I just got my notification. And Denise says, we're floating in the river in our yard.
Beth said that
Wow.
God had mercy on them last night. The storm hit, but they just got rain and no damage to their gardens.
Amen.
Great.
Amen.
They have put in more gardens. She said they're ramping theirs up. They're in Texas, and she said they're ramping up the gardens. There's Freedom Maker. She said she's not feeling very well yet. She just woke up, but thank y'all for the prayers. So Freedom Maker said thank you, Amanda.
Ms. Amanda's here. Y'all keep her in your prayers. She's trying to recover from this hysterectomy and other type surgery that she had mixed in with it. It's a pretty massive surgery, but she's going to do just fine. We're going to keep her in our prayers, and y'all do the same for her. She's a single mom with a beautiful daughter, just trying to get ready to get out on a homestead and get her homesteading going.
Deborah Haynes says, our last storm in Alabama, one of our cleanup crew workers was hit by a drunk driver and killed.
Oh, wow.
That seems to be, there's no
excuse.
Well, there's no, I can't even think of the word courtesy for anything anymore.
Man, that just
integrity.
People's in a hurry.
Everybody's all about themselves. If it isn't about them, then heck with everybody else. And so when you're driving down the road, these people do not care that you're out there with a sign saying stop or slow down or take the next lane. They just keep plowing. We had a guy where I was from, he was in a dump truck, and someone plowed through and just plowed into the front of his dump truck, and he's sitting on the side of the road, on the opposite side of the road, and he wasn't killed, but he was near about dead. It was horrible. I mean, they had cones out, everything, and people don't pay any attention.
And two, I'd like to mention, if anyone wanted to help Amanda financially during this hardship in her life, because she found out her insurance is not going to cover most of her, well, a lot of her bill, they could donate to her and kind of help her out, being a single parent.
Okay, I'm not sure. Lisa says it's going to be a blowout in 2020. I can't wait. I'm not sure what she's talking about, so I missed something along the way.
Well,
hey, Broussard.
2021 is predicted to be when all the massive food problems are going to really ramp up and it's going to be horrible. It's going to be hard to get anything. Let's put it that way by 2021.
There will be food. It's just going to be in limited sources.
It'll be in limited amounts because a lot of people are going, oh, I don't know about that. Well, look, during World War I and World War II, food was rationed out in this country during that time. And there's nothing to say that it won't happen again.
Yeah, that's right. Insurance doesn't want to pay for anything anymore. So why? Sometimes you feel like, why do you pay for it?
Sometimes you feel like, what's
that's one of those catch-22s. Lots of times they want you to have insurance, and when you get there, I mean, I just went to the eye doctor, and guys, I like to have flipped at the price of what it's going to cost me to get glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked because I don't have insurance. If I'd have had insurance, I probably would have just waltzed in there, got my glasses, and didn't think twice because I don't even insurance covers it. I mean, why do you ask how much it costs? But because I have to pay for everything, because I don't have eye insurance, I was shocked. I knew it was going to be pretty high, but it was almost twice what I thought. So
yeah, it really.
It was a big.
It set us back. That's for sure. Boy, it even shocked me. I was expecting a certain amount of money, but when they told us that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and we're talking about grocery prices. Danny and I we haven't been in Piggly Wiggly in at least a month, maybe closer to 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And we've only been in Walmart like once a week maybe, and we run in there, and most of the time we're not buying food, so we don't even go to the food aisle unless it's like one item that we're needing or something. Like if I'm making his dessert, and I'll run over there and pick up 2 or 3 things. I did that last week. So we've not really food shopped in a while.
Right.
And on Crazy Days, I do have a video on my grocery haul because I did some really good bargain shopping. But we were looking at things like cereal and chips. That's two main items that people buy religiously when they go in the store. So we walked down the cereal aisle and I just looked at the prices. When my kids were little, I can remember just cringing to pay over $2 a box. And that was a good size, big box of cereal.
Yeah.
Name brand cereals, $2, $2.25, and I wouldn't go any higher. I mean, for a name brand cereal in a big box. Now, I like to flip to the prices
We
of
looked
those
at the
boxes.
prices. We was going to get some
Half
rice.
size.
We were going to get some rice checks to make me something because I can eat rice stuff in limited amounts. And we saw the price of a box of rice check cereal.
And it was half the size of what you used to get.
Half the size. And I looked out there and said, no.
I said,
am not paying that for a box of cereal.
We just put it back, and I walked up and down the aisle and looked at all the others. Y'all, I freaked out at the prices of cereal. I'm like, oh my goodness, how does people do this? And then we went over to the chip aisle. Danny can eat tortilla chips as long as there's not a lot of additives.
As long as it says they're not genetically modified and all that kind of stuff. No preservatives, no additives. So
we find the ones that just has oil, salt, and corn in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about it. And so I bought some that were on sale for $1.50 a bag. And even at that, and that was a big bag, and it was off-brand. But looking at those chips, a pack of corn chips, and I'm talking the little bitty
that I used
to buy,
a little bag about this tall.
I used to pay $1.99 for that bag. Was $4
and something. Yeah,
$4 or $4.49 or something like that. And when you touched that little bitty bag, it was only half full. It was probably not even half of that. And I was shocked. I mean, those two items people buy all the time. And as for us not going in and buying that kind of stuff, we didn't realize the prices had escalated that high. So somebody says, look at ibuydirect.com.
I was reading
got
that.
Their glasses there for $17.50. All you need is a prescription from your doctor. Well, mine are trifocals, and they are progressive trifocals.
Plus they have the anti-glare coating.
Yeah, I got the anti-glare coating on the next ones just because. But that was an extra. But the frames was what done us in. I looked at the frames, and the woman I didn't look at prices. I wasn't thinking about it. And when I picked up a pair and finally found some I liked, $200 for a pair of frames. And I looked at her, I go, do you have something a little bit cheaper?
Yeah.
I was used to, in Hattiesburg, they have like $29 frames.
Yeah.
That's $200 for
and that was the cheaper ones. I mean, some of them were like $300 just for the frames.
And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you pay that for something that most of it was plastic and there was a little bit of wire on the side? It's not worth it. It probably took them $10 to make that frame, if it took $10. And so we looked around. I ended up with a $70 pair of frames. Yeah. Cheapest I could find.
The cheapest we could find, but still walked out of there with $1,000. It
was horrible.
It was horrible.
I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, a lot of people still talking about the corn. Beth says buy corn tortillas and fry them if you want chips.
I don't ever fry anything. We don't keep oil here.
We don't keep any oil to fry anything with. We have lard, but that's what we just cook in.
Yeah, and I didn't want to use a lot of it.
Yeah.
But, then again, I have to buy the corn tortillas and then I have to fry them. So
Amanda says, when do you get the new glasses in? We just
next week sometime.
I think next week. We went in, we didn't carry enough money with us. We went in, we thought we had enough, but when they told us how much it was going to cost, we were like, whoa, we'll have to come back and finish paying for them. Yeah, we had to pay notes on them or something.
Yeah, I have to pay notes on my glasses before I can get them, but possibly by the next weekend. Broussard put craziness, Maranatha.
Jesus is coming soon.
That's the name of our church.
That's the name of our church.
So when I saw that, I had to do a double take and see what it was.
Yeah.
Wow, Lisa, that's really cheap.
Well, Tammy's one I'm looking at.
Where?
My glasses are single vision. I paid $5 for my frame. They do offer progressive and anti-glare. All the add-ons still cheaper than most places I've checked out. Right?
Well, the deal was we would have had to drove over an hour either way to the coast or to Hattiesburg. Again, this one doesn't like to go anywhere.
Yeah.
The only options we had here in town was the doctor that we see, two doctors in the clinic.
We have 2 doctors here we can see, yeah.
And the other clinic is from the Hattiesburg clinic, but they don't have glasses. I would have still had to drove somewhere to get my glasses. Considering he doesn't want to go anywhere and it takes an hour and a half to get somewhere,
Yeah.
traffic and everything, and then having it all done, and then an hour and a half back home, and then going back and picking them up.
And coming back.
It was cheaper just to buy them here and be done with it because of the gas and the mileage and the whole, just him being sick afterward. After he rides for an hour and a half,
I don't do good.
he doesn't do good for a day or two.
Overlook Valley, glad to see you on. He said, what are y'all eating? Well, we explained a while ago. I had a grilled hamburger patty. I had my own English peas, my homegrown carrots. I have carrots here we just pulled out of the garden and sliced up into pieces. I've been eating on them. And I have a little cupcake thing Miss Amanda from Freedom Acres made me when she was here.
We freeze them and take one out occasionally.
She made me a whole pile of them and froze them, and they're my happies every now and then. I take one out when I'm tired or I don't feel good, and I eat one of them. It's kind of like a happy for me.
Mainly because he's out of 4-layer delight.
I don't have no 4-layer delight. No pecan cookies made, nothing like that.
I gotta cook this afternoon. I don't think you're getting 4-layer tonight.
Probably not.
Maybe tomorrow.
Brenda says your Walmart doesn't have an eye doctor. Nope.
No.
We just have a plain Walmart here. We're
lucky if we got Walmart.
We're lucky if we just got Walmart.
Yeah, no, we don't have anything in this town. It's all very, very small.
Yeah. White Picket Fence says, it's good to have happies. Well, I don't have many happies in my life, and Ms. Amanda knows that.
So she made probably 2 dozen of them.
Probably did. Plus she made me some spaghetti, chicken spaghetti and these little aluminum pie plant things, and she froze a bunch of them and put in the freezer when she was here.
He's got one left, but I made him some chicken spaghetti, so he's saving that one.
I'm saving that one. Miss Wanda made me some last night, so I'm hanging on to the one I got left. Jim, Ms. Denise says, now, Danny, you know the carrot topic is a rub-in, right? Laugh out loud. Well,
we got to go to Denise's and see what kind of bed she's got so we can help her raise carrots.
It is so good to eat carrots from the garden, fresh from the garden. Oh, man, things is good.
Yeah, Molly said Walmart. The Walmart in Hattiesburg, one of them I do know carries it, but it's the one on the other side of Hattiesburg. So we're looking at an hour and a half to get there at least. Danny loves sweets. He's very limited in what he can have. I'll make the 4-layer delight. Yeah. And he probably doesn't need some of the stuff in that, but
I'm probably not supposed to.
He still eats it. And
I pay the price for it when I do.
The pecans. I make pecan cookies. What else have you been eating? Oh, sweet potato dessert. Yeah. You'll eat that going and coming.
Oh, yeah, I can eat that. Yeah, boy.
I make a cake out of almond flour, and sometimes I'll add apples or something to it, and sometimes it's just a plain cake.
We do have apples in the refrigerator, don't we? We have some canned apples we just opened up from our apple tree.
And I made mini apple tarts yesterday with our apples. I do have some of those. That's my dessert. I used excuse me, what is the Chinese wonton wrappers. I bought a pack of wonton wrappers, and I put a dab of, like, maybe a half a teaspoon of apple with some cinnamon in it in the middle of a wonton wrapper, and sealed it and put them in the oven and baked them 12, 14 minutes, something like that. Took them out and dipped them in powdered sugar, sprinkled it over them. That's the best mini tart you've ever had. Apple tart. It's awesome.
BWW says, can Danny eat coconut? I eat coconut, but it's a limited amount. I don't eat much.
He can some.
Yeah. Then the white picket fence says, I put pecans and a little fruit in my oatmeal every morning. The pecans really make it. Yes, they do. I had oatmeal this morning, as a matter of fact.
Another thing, we have a lot of blueberries. You throw a handful of blueberries over in that oatmeal.
Yes.
That's really good. Now, I like oatmeal with blueberries. We do that quite often.
Through your kitchen window said, I just joined. Are y'all trying any plantain? It is growing all over my woods and yard right now. More vitamins than spinach. We have plantain everywhere here.
I just hadn't went and foraged for it.
Yeah, we just
I've got
foraged.
so much other stuff, so I'm not letting my stuff go to waste to eat wild edibles right now. But we have a lot of lettuce and spinach and stuff like that. But plantain will grow all summer here, won't it?
Yes.
We get, I mean, it's everywhere.
Well, it goes to seed pretty quick here once it heats up, but then it just keeps growing.
Yeah. Did Danny just say it's good to have Walmart?
No, I said we're lucky to have a Walmart.
Man, he was being facetious.
Yeah, I was. I was being very facetious about it.
But that's the only place we have that carries anything other than food. I mean, it has food, but anything like clothes and shoes and household items, pharmacy type items. Yes, we do have a small pharmacy.
Hello, Wildcat Hollow Farm from Germany.
Hi. We don't have anything in our town that you can just go shopping and buy clothes.
No.
I don't think there's a clothing store in the town. If there is, it's a little known secret and probably very expensive.
Oh, Denise said, Wanda, our blueberries are doing great this year. Mr. Danny rocked the lesson last year.
Good.
Good.
I'm glad.
Ours are doing pretty good.
I see Rocky Brook jumped in.
Yeah, I see Rocky Brook jumped in here.
Again, guys, now we've got Broussard and Rocky Brook. Wildcat Hollow, I'm not sure if they're in Germany, but I'm not sure if they have content. But Through My Kitchen Window, I think, does. Rocky Brook, I believe, does. Some of these channels, there's 3 little dots out to the side. If you click it, it won't take you off our live stream, but it'll say go to channel. And you can go to their channel and see if they have content and check them out and see if you like them. Overlook Valley Homestead. Is there a video on the blueberries? Yes, we have a lot of videos on blueberries. You can type in Deep South Homestead and blueberries in a Google search or a YouTube search, I guess I should say. Yeah. I've got to do some work on our playlist and things like that. I can't remember if I've got a fruit and berries playlist or if there's a blueberry playlist. I can't remember, but I want to itemize some of the playlist a little bit more so that you can find things like blueberries. I know potatoes and English peas and carrots and stuff all have their own playlist. I'm just not sure about the blueberries.
Amanda says she's fixing to go lay down. She's getting tired. She just wanted to pop in for a minute. Thanks everybody for their prayers.
All right, North Star Prepsteader said they put up a video about dyeing Easter eggs naturally. I saw Broussard said they are really close to 1,000. I think I looked at
Rocky Brook says yes, almost to 1,000.
So there's another one.
Doing videos.
Georgia Girl.
Georgia Girl. Time to Sow says I was impressed with your Alapaha blueberries. Those things are doing great.
They are. The premieres are more, Alapaha comes in like clusters. Yeah. The premieres are all over the place, so it's hard to get a picture showing a bunch of them together, but the premieres are actually bigger than the Alapahas.
Yeah. Oh.
Have you ever grown potatoes from seeds?
No, I never have.
No.
I've had potato plants make seeds.
We thought that was unusual because we don't do that very often.
Usually that doesn't happen very often, but we did have it happen, and we did not. We didn't replant them because it really usually doesn't make anything.
Garden Makeover said they found rattlesnake beans at their local co-op. Wow. Now Hoss Tools, we're an affiliate link and it's in the description. They are carrying rattlesnake beans now. And I'm not sure, maybe, I don't remember if some of the others are starting to carry them. It's gotten to be a pretty good deal now with the rattlesnake beans.
Yes.
Georgia girl says starting her Danny corn and Cherokee tan pumpkins soon. I haven't put any Cherokee tan pumpkins in the ground. That's something I wanted to do.
We're kind of like waiting because we're supposed to be back in the low 40s again. Is it tomorrow or the next day?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow and the next day or something like that. When this weather passes through, the temperature is supposed to just plunge today. And we're wanting to do a cooking video in the fireplace in the cabin to show people how to cook over an open fire
in a cabin.
In a fireplace, and cook your food as fast as you can on a stove usually.
I was amazed watching him, guys. So if either tomorrow morning or the next morning we will shoot that video, and then it'll be up probably next week.
Is that going to be a YouTube or a Patreon?
That'll be YouTube.
Oh, that'll be a YouTube? Okay.
Yeah. I want to show y'all how he cooks over an open fire. Really, I mean, I was amazed. It didn't take him any longer, start to finish. I mean, maybe 5 minutes or so, but not that much longer start to finish than going in there and switching the stove on, because he gets his fires up so quick. And I was like, wow. So we're going to do that one day while it's cold.
While it's cool, we're going to go ahead and do that video and show how it's done. Now,
all right, this one says, may I ask what you do to treat foot rot in goat hooves? I've been trimming and using betadine and giving her echinacea orally to boost her immune system. She walks gingerly but stays on knees to eat. What did you do?
Well, goats stay on their knees a lot anyway. One thing I might urge or encourage is if you're having hoof rot in goats, wherever they're at is too wet. And they need to be where they have something to climb on to keep their hooves kind of broke off on the edges as much as possible to wear them down. But get them in a drier spot, because hoof rot, the number one reason for that is being in too wet of an environment.
Do we plant any sweet corn? Yes.
Yes.
We have a video coming up on the Stowell Evergreen sweet corn, probably one day next week. And the corn we showed here, I can show it again because I'm just proud of it. I planted this just a few days ago. Okay, I know that's only one, but there was more out there. I just did a close-up. That is my candy corn. I had a lady, and I say her name wrong every time. I think her name is, I won't say, I call her Bernadette, but I think it's not Bernadette. It's something else. I keep saying her name wrong, but she sent it to me anyway. She knows who she is.
Well, let me tell you, you talk about cooking over an open fire. What's the Pemberley's?
Pemberley Farms. It's
Pemberley Farm.
Pemberley.
Yes.
Or either it's PRE. I can't. It might be PREM. Pemberley or Pemberley. I'm not sure exactly which.
They were at the gathering.
They did an awesome video.
They've done an awesome job in video on cooking over an open fire, and she explains a lot of it.
Yes, she does a great job explaining the ins and outs of cooking on a Dutch oven. And she cooked biscuits, cornbread, and Hoppin' John. And so, guys, if it's, I don't know if my moderators can find her right quick, but it's either Pemberley or Pemberley. It's with PR or PEM, one of the two. And it's, through the kitchen said there was someone together and cooking on the open fire. Yeah, here Broussard's got it.
Broussard's got it. Let's see if it'll show it.
Yeah, there you go. Broussard put it up.
Yes, they're great people, and they've done a fantastic job talking about cooking on open fire with a Dutch oven. A lot of people think you need a big roaring fire and stuff like that. That is not the truth. All you basically need is just a few coals.
And they showed it perfectly. I mean, really. Yeah. Hey, Andy, how are you doing?
I seen Andy just popped in.
Andy's another one that had been in the hospital for a while. He's out now, but not sure how he's doing. He looked like he was doing okay, but I don't know if he has to go back in for some things because he had quite a bit going on there, too.
What's that, RB? RB says, to me, peaches and creams is the best sweet corn. It is a good sweet corn. It is really good. Now, we plant the Stoyle Evergreen here just because it's an heirloom.
It was awesome.
And it does fantastic here.
It's one of the sweetest corns I've ever eaten. And we're going to try the candy corn this time. It's a sweet corn, too, and see how sweet it is compared.
Right. Yeah.
I love potatoes cooked and wrapped in foil and cooked over an open fire pit.
Yes.
We're going to do a potato video too over there shortly. It's going to be different, just saying. I'll do that one. I planned on doing it this week, but just hadn't managed to get it. So maybe next week. Andy says he has to go back in about a month. They want to go back in and take his gallbladder out once he's well enough for them to do that. Yeah.
Okay. I've had mine took out, Andy. Your life will change, my friend.
Well, he had pancreatitis.
Pancreatitis, yeah.
And so they had to heal that first before he can go back. I get it.
Eyes to See Ministry says, has anyone tried growing corn in containers? We're running out of room. You can do that, Miss Tori, but let me just give you a little bit of advice. You're going to need several containers, and don't put over 4 stalks per container.
Okay, so Wildcat Hollow says he's taught by email. He's the one that sent those books through a condensed version of the books. All the books on survival, and just a huge. I mean, we have a library of books thanks to Wildcat Hollow. Yeah. They're all in a file, I guess you would say. That's what I'm looking for, a file.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, anything from building putting down a well to cooking and canning and building anything. I mean, it's all there. It's like the most comprehensive file I've seen in a long time. Neil says they grow in corn in containers in the UK.
It can be done. It's just that you have to remember, if you get corn too thick in a container, the inside the ears that's facing the inside of the pot a lot of times will not pollinate because the pollen can't get down in there if it's too thick. So that's the reason you can't let it
Christy
get too thick.
said hers were just puny that she grew in pots last year, so the chickens liked them. Rebecca's growing the blue corn this year.
The blue corn.
We did that last year.
We did that two different kinds last year.
Hey, Laura. She's popped in. It's a PDF format. That's what it is. Yeah. I couldn't remember. I was thinking file. 1,500 books. Now, y'all, that is a lot of books. Wildcat sent us that, and then we got one CD from the conference in Tennessee. And I don't know how many were on it, but there were a lot on it. So our library is ferocious now with just those 2 items. And then Sinclair sent me a whole bunch.
Sinclair sent a bunch.
On was it a CD he sent too? That was mainly cookbooks. And y'all, there's any kind of cookbook on there you can imagine. For people that like cookbooks, I mean, I just browse through and look at things, and it is really pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go see.
Miss Wanda's phone's going off, which is normal. It's probably a junk call. Denise said, Mr. Danny, I did put my squash in containers, like you said. How do I stalk them or stake them? They are, first of all, Denise, if you put your squash in containers, make sure you wrap the bottom of the squash with tin foil when they start growing. You want about 4 inches of tin foil around the bottom of them so that you can help prevent the squash vine borer from getting started in them. And they're not going to stay in the containers. They're going to run over the edge of the containers and lay down on the ground. And that's perfectly fine if they do that. So don't worry about that if that happens, because you don't really want to stake or stalk a squash, because a lot of times certain varieties will put roots on at every leaf and root itself into the ground. Wildcat Hollow just put up the link. Y'all go check that out, because I'm telling you, it is fantastic. Eyes to See Ministry says she used a tomato cage upside down. You can do that. That's a pretty good idea. Yeah. Bruce RC just got the vehicle warranty call. Bruce R, we get that probably 10 times a day, and my vehicles have been so far past warranty it ain't even funny. Who was that?
Our HughesNet, they're coming Monday.
Okay.
Late Monday evening.
That's good.
Okay, guys, so maybe they'll work on our internet system a little bit better. So
Tubular, well, I can't say. Tubular Guy 9 says, hey, from over in Mobile.
Hey, they over Scratchmade's way.
They're over in Scratchmade territory.
Y'all keep Patty Alderman's family in your prayers. Her mother passed this past week, and
yes.
So y'all keep sending her some love. All right, so Wildcat, here's the link to the actual book library. Okay, so guys, if y'all want to check it out,
you want to check that out?
He's putting it up.
Save that link. I'm telling you,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. And if you have a way to download it and put it on a thumb drive or something, or external hard drive, whatever. All right.
Oh, Rebecca says she's lucky so far. Just a lot of rain.
And the wind's picked up. It's starting to blow.
The wind wasn't blowing at all this morning, but now it's probably blowing about 15 miles an hour.
There's more than 40 gigabytes of books there. It's a lot. I'm going to tell you.
It is a lot.
On a lot of subjects.
You need a good-sized thumb drive.
Anything that you can think of is probably in there.
Yeah, I would get an external hard drive, probably a terabyte, so you got plenty of room.
Yeah. Eyes to See said they got a call yesterday that they gave her a better rate on her visa. She doesn't even have. They keep telling us our truck warranty is out.
Yeah.
Our truck warranty's been out like 6 years or better. You know, they're not fixing to pick it up, I'm sure. Debbie says raindrops are fixing to start in Tennessee.
I was looking at that.
Music Will is all he's doing is moving plants here lately.
I've been paying attention to that.
He's been back and forth, and when you have a lot of plants, that's something I don't think people realize. Like the greenhouse, our greenhouse gets up over 100 degrees.
Right.
We're fixed to have to down everything in it. If you've got small plants, you've got to get them out of there. And then when it starts getting cold, you got to put them back in there. If it's raining or the wind's blowing real hard, you want them in the greenhouse, not outside. And so you have to baby these plants a lot to get them actually going nowadays.
Yeah. I like Neil's way of doing things. 'Cause I'm bad about that too, Neil. Sometimes I'll keep them talking for 30 minutes and then I'll go, oh, I'm sorry, I don't even own that. You know?
Yeah.
But what the Music Well is doing is actually what's fixing to happen to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the crazy weather that we're having, you're going to have a place you can put them in, take them out. Put them in, take them out if you want to have food.
Yeah, because if you're, I mean, just like us, some of our stuff, we're used to having English peas by now. We're usually harvesting English peas.
Yeah, we're
just now getting blooms, and Danny did get to eat a few the other day.
Yeah, I was out there weeding them out, and I found a few of them ready, and they didn't make it to the house.
I didn't even get one. Not one.
No.
Not one.
I was hot. I was hungry. I saw them English peas, and I couldn't turn them down. I just had to eat them.
Yeah.
I figured it might be the only ones I get.
And so I've been doing that with asparagus. Danny, he loves asparagus, but it don't love him too well sometimes. And so I eat asparagus. When I find it, I'm eating asparagus. I had some on my salad today, and he tells me I ought to leave some of those asparagus. Some of them came out of my cabin garden. And so that Amanda and I planted that asparagus over there, and it's already had little bitty shoots come up, and I ate them today. According to the funeral home calendar, Friday is a good planting day, but I want a calendar. I'm going to call the funeral home. If they have some, I'm pretty sure people aren't looking for them now if they hadn't trashed them. Because when I was in there a couple of months ago and got mine, the guy was just trying to give them away to get them out of there because they were stacked up in the office. So maybe if I remember in a few minutes, I'll call and see if they have any and just take them off their hands. Danny won't let me run by there when we're in town. He forgets.
Well, I'm not a big funeral home person.
Well,
I'm gonna get to visit there one day.
It's kind of hard to shop at the funeral home.
You know, I don't usually go shopping at the funeral home. I used to keep the funeral home yard mowed and cleaned up and everything, but
I'm going to have to go shopping at the funeral home. I'm going to have to see what kind of bargains they have on calendars, if they're still free, and they'll give me some, and then I'll start dishing them out to people. But what they're talking about over on Patreon, I did do a just a write-up on the funeral home calendar for the week. And if people like that, I may do that every week. I mean, I'm not going to promise you I'm going to do it every week, but I'll try.
Yeah.
Because I'm not real religious in keeping things consistent. Just saying. I'll do it when I can think about it.
Yeah, when she remembers.
Rocky Brooks says people are dying to get there.
They are.
But Danny ain't one of them yet.
I hope
he likes to stay away as much as possible.
I don't like going to funeral homes.
Okay. Tubular says y'all should be getting wet pretty soon. The front is at Hammond. Okay. Jan says she's getting asparagus every day. Isn't it awesome? It tastes nothing like what you get in the store. Nothing.
Jennifer said, I found a calendar like that at an old-fashioned drugstore. I stopped by last week.
Wow. Maybe you should, if people in her area, she should tell them where she found it, because it used to be the norm. Everybody put these calendars out. They would have their logo printed or their store name or whatever printed on it. And I can remember my mom getting these forever. And Danny and I could have some printed up, but I think they're going to cost us nearly $5 a piece to have them printed. And so I checked into it, and I can't see charging people $10 for a calendar, or even $7 or $8. That's kind of expensive when you can get calendars all day long. But the cheapest I think I found was right at $5 a piece for me to have them printed. So it was kind of high. Andy said they can't get him
to a doctor, let alone a funeral home. Well, when you come time for the funeral home, my friend, you won't have no say in it.
You won't be telling them no. Christy said her dad was a pharmacist in an old-fashioned drugstore with a soda fountain. My dad actually worked at a soda fountain in a drugstore many years ago before I was ever born. That was before he met my mom. Gemini said that she called it's not necessarily that it's a funeral home calendar. I call it that because that's where I got it from.
Right.
But sometimes your feed and seed stores would carry them. I'm trying to remember. Used to banks did it, but now banks have gotten really pretty pictures and little information.
You go in there, they got a calendar that's got the old antique cars or wildlife or something. Nothing's really beneficial to you.
And there's nothing much more on it. And but you could get them. You can look online. I don't know if there's a download for it, but look up. I forgot how I looked it up. It's something to do with the signs of the moon and planting. If you looked up calendars with that information on them, I was looking to buy some and have them printed. So you might go that route, but I don't know if there's actually online that information. You might could find it and maybe download your own information.
Beach family said down in Ocean Springs, they still have a soda fountain in an old drugstore there.
Franklin
and scooped ice cream.
The Franklin 5 and 10, I remember that.
Yeah, where's the time gone?
I used to see, gotta run, putting up food
today. Well, I tell you what, Miss Tori, you need to put up all you can put up after I found out what I found out.
Overlook Valley says they're fixing to head to Deep South to get them some carrots. If you get here within the next 3 to 5 days,
we got carrots. See, we still have fresh carrots right now.
I'm fixing to pull them all up after this weather passes and loosens the ground some. I'm pulling them all up and canning. And that brings me to canning class. I promised everybody I would do a canning class at night where Danny can help me. The deal is I want the internet fixed first. I want to make sure we've got that done. And I was trying to figure out how to hook up a camera, not just a webcam, but a camera where it might be a little bit clearer, and I'm not figured that out yet. So possibly within a week or so, and when I decide what night I'm going to do it, I will do a video and throw it up and put it in the group on Facebook and everywhere so that people will know, because I do charge for that class, because I only want people that want to be there to learn in that class. I don't want people just jumping in and chatting away and distracting and things like that. So I do charge for the class, and it is a private link that I send to people. So that's how we usually work the canning class.
Time to sow. We did not plant the cosmic purple again this year. We mainly just stuck with the Danvers half longs. They seem to do pretty good, and they done real good.
Tamara said she finally canned last night. She did potatoes and carrots. Wow, good girl. I was wondering, I hadn't seen you lately, and I was going, what has Tamara done? She was supposed to be canning.
Oh man, the chat was running through there.
It just flips and we lose.
Christy, you're exactly right. That's one of the things I talked about over on Patreon. Meat is fixing to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Tamara said she finally canned potatoes last night and carrots. Your class was great.
Yeah.
Overlook Valley has 92 subs. It needs 8 more to make it to 100. So if any of y'all want to sub, just run over there and check them out. They're a good channel.
Let's see. Hosted Easter dinner and trying to get food and house ready. North Star, I do that occasionally, and this year probably not.
Wildcat says, well, wonder what brand of camera are you trying to hook up?
Well, it's like a mini GoPro, but it's an off-brand camera. It works decent, but I don't know if it'll hook up for me to use as like a camera for using in the kitchen. We also have just a handheld camcorder type thing, small one. I don't know if it would work, but I'm looking at all possibilities. I'm limited in what I have. It's not a lot.
We have the Presto pressure canner.
Yeah.
It
holds 7 quarts.
7 quarts, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And it has the little jiggler on top. It does not have a pressure gauge. So when I'm canning and I do my class, it is with a jiggler, not a pressure gauge. I do not have a pressure gauge canner.
Broussard said they need 14 more to reach 1,000. So y'all go check out Broussard Homestead. They are a good channel also.
Andy's Tennessee Life and Homestead too. He just ordered a incubator. So he's fixing to start hatching out and raising birds himself.
Yeah. We did that for a while.
All right. Now, Meemaw's Hippobilly only needs 3
more to get to 100. So y'all check out them. Y'all, we got a lot of smaller new channels coming on here that need some help. Just run over and give them a sub right quick and check out what their content, because I spend most of my mornings, I'm just being honest with you, when I get up around 4 o'clock in the morning, I spend most of my mornings just running around looking at smaller channels, checking them out, subbing to them, seeing what kind of content they got. I don't ever say anything to anybody. I just go check them out.
And I try to comment most of the time when I go over, but it's really hard sometimes to remember to comment, because I'll be watching the video and I'm usually doing something else too at the same time.
Yeah.
And when the video's off, I just look for another one and keep going. So guys, we are out there. We are, and I don't know if our subscriptions is.
We have ours hidden.
I think it's hidden. I can't promise you that, but I think it is. So when I sub to somebody, it doesn't, I don't even think it shows up anymore. And I haven't went in to change any of those settings. So I don't know. I've got to play around with our stuff again.
Okay, someone there said, I have a glass top stove, can I can? Yes, I have a glass top stove. I've been using now, what, 13, 14 years? 16 years, and it's done fine with us. Just make sure you don't put anything cold on it when it's hot or anything, don't drag something across it and scratch it up and all that. You have to pick stuff up and move it around.
My canning class is with the glass top stove.
Yeah.
So I show you what we do. And Jan got her package today. Great. That's wonderful. I'll catch it in a little bit.
Okay.
Gemini said she got up 2 videos. She's very new at this, but blessed to be in a like-minded. Gemini has been working really hard over the last month to just get a channel up and get it going.
Yeah.
I do remember. She's been throwing some things. I'm trying to think. Broussard has been working really hard on their channel.
Yes.
Wildcat Hollow.
North Star Prepper is trying to get their channel up and going.
Wildcat Hollow, you would have to send me an email again so I know, because I can't remember which names go with which and which emails. I see like Wildcat Hollow here, and then the email will be something different, and then a name. I can't put them all together until you send me something.
Rocky Brooks said 65,860 is not hiding Deep South. Oh. Well.
Sometimes we feel like we're hid.
Sometimes I feel like we're hid at all. I mean, we try to stay that way anyway.
Just ordered another 1,000 seals for our canning season. Okay, she's talking about
the lids.
The lids.
Yes, Sherry, that's wise, because I'm gonna tell you, guys, you need to be getting lids and rings and jars, because the jars are useless without the lids and the rings. So you better stock up. Once you have the jars, don't stop. Start every time you buy a case of jars, buy 2 or 3 flats of lids to go with it, because that'll guarantee you 2 or 3 more times of canning. Yeah, and Dolly, yes, please get into my class. I'll let you know within the next week. And Laura, it will be in the evening. We will do it probably around 7 Central our time. That way it'll give me time to get through and get cleaned up before we go to bed. So just be looking for that in the next, probably, we'll announce it, but within a week. And I'm not sure, y'all tell me what y'all would like to can, because I did carrots last time. And I've done carrots when people came here to my house. That's what I did. So I was thinking potatoes, because I'm thinking about some ways to do potatoes, because I've had questions. I was thinking of digging some of our fresh potatoes, enough to do at least 1 to 2 jars, and then buying some potatoes and showing the difference between what they look like after they're canned, because we've had some people say that some of the potatoes they buy look different from the ones that are fresh. Yes, I want to tell y'all, get the silver lids. Do not get the gold lids. Make sure when you buy, get the silver ones. The gold ones will rust in no time. They're just junk. Well, Broussard just put it up. What? Oh, get the silver. Well, at least he's thinking like I'm thinking. That's all I can say. And I agree with Meemaw Hippobilly. It is the community. The numbers, we have a lot of numbers, guys, but we do not get 65,000 views on anything. You know, just because we have that many subs when we don't know where they're coming from, you can have 1,000 subs and only get 25 views a day. Or like us, we have 65,000 subs and we get 3,000 views a day. But now they watch older videos. So once you get more videos up, people might not watch the daily video. They might accidentally, it may come up recommended a video you put up last year. We just had one that went viral, last month. It'd been up for almost 2 years, and then all of a sudden, now it's at 300,000, and that was pretty awesome. Beulah Land Homestead, yes, you can can meat. We have videos on canning meat. Mm-hmm. It's very easy to do. A lot of people freak out about it, but it's not hard. It's actually not that hard at all. Do we like the Tattler lids? I've never used them. I have used them. If Tattler lids are not done properly, they will not stay sealed. I had about 20 jars one time to go bad on me because I used Tattler lids and I didn't go through the proper process. And so I would rather, if you don't mind using them, that's fine. They're expensive. And make sure you do. And make sure you do it exactly the way they say doing it. But you can reuse them over and over again. But we have a huge stash of lids, so I just prefer to, use the metal ones. The video that went viral was our awesome tomatoes, where Danny's out in the garden talking about tomatoes and all the things. I think it's something to do about awesome tomatoes. I can't remember, but
look up Awesome Tomatoes, Deep South Homestead,
Yeah,
or something.
how to
How
grow
to
awesome tomatoes.
or something like that. I don't remember the exact name, but we were shocked because we, you know, that was a blessing to us.
Oh, let's see.
What else?
Andy says what he plans on doing is meat chickens.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, those we did 25 and cut them in half.
We done 25, cut them in half, ended up with over 100 pounds of meat.
And we still
got a bunch of chicken.
I cook half a chicken once a week, and we eat at least 3 meals out of it. And so you get tired of chicken every day. Danny does anyway.
Yeah.
He doesn't want chicken every day.
I don't want it every day, but it's,
so,
I mean.
We still have a lot of chicken left.
Got a lot of chicken left. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a lot.
Wait. Oh, did I just do that?
Oh, yes, you did. Let's go back. Hold on. You gotta give Miss Wanda. I
was fixing something to. Okay.
Put it.
Let me do the pop
okay.
out. Yeah, I did get it
up.
We're probably
go away for a moment.
No, they can see us. I'm just fixing. You can't see us, but they can.
Yeah.
That's not the deal.
Okay. Turn our OBS back on where we can see where we're at.
There we go. I was fixing it so you could see the link. USB Phillips put up. It's a link for glasses. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I've done ordered mine now. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Music Well says they've eaten 5 deer that he took down with 1 left in the freezer. Wow.
Wow.
Now we have some deer meat still.
Yeah, we still have some deer meat.
And that makes an awesome burger on the grill.
Makes a good burger on the grill. I mean, we still got some deer coming on our property. We're hoping that they'll kind of back off for a little while, but we can get our sweet potatoes in because I got a feeling they're gonna.
One of the videos coming up shows the deer walk.
The video you put up today.
Was it that one?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was sugar cane or potatoes. Anyway, y'all may get tired of us over the next few days, but we did one on sugar cane, potatoes, green beans. There's going to be one on garlic. What else?
We've shot so many videos, I don't even know.
One on fueling the tractor.
A fuel pump for the tractor.
I can't remember, but
we have a lot of videos coming up.
A lot of gardening videos right now. And I think that's what people need. Y'all don't need to see me feeding my animals and things like that. You need to see what we're doing with the garden. And so that's what we're trying to do for the next week or so. While we're working in the garden, I'm shooting little videos.
Denise, there is as many different opinions about what's a good dual purpose chicken as there are people to have them, because lots of people's had good luck and bad luck with lots of them. The Rhode Island Reds is a good one, but they are actually mean. A lot of the males are.
Well, actually, the Barred Rock.
The Barred Rocks.
We had one that was mean.
We had a bad one, Barred Rock. We do the ISA Browns right now.
For eggs.
For eggs.
But the Buffs were a good one. Now, our Buffs got really
The Buffs were a big chicken, and they laid a lot of eggs.
And they weren't mean.
They weren't mean.
Well, so, as long as you didn't put... we couldn't put a Buff rooster.
No. It didn't have anything. It wasn't the Buffs. It was the
that was the Bards that were mean. Okay.
Were mean.
We had to swap around between Buffs and Bards.
The yellow Buffs. Denise, the yellow Buffs has been our best chicken for dual purpose chicken for us. Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Because we didn't like. We've had the Easter eggers, things like that. We've had them all, and we don't like most of them. But the Buffs were probably the best. And if egg layers, these ISA Browns.
ISA Browns are the best egg layers we've ever come across.
Buff roosters can be mean, yes.
Yeah, they can.
We've had our variety of mean roosters. They'll be fine and dandy for months on end, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, they turn mean.
Yeah. It all depends on personality. Just like people.
Yes. Albany, she's been jumped in. She was sick here a while back, but now she's doing better, I think. Beulah Land says, this may be a stupid question. Is there any way you can meat without a pressure cooker? I would not attempt
even attempt it. No.
You can't get a regular cooker hot enough to kill
Right.
the germs and stuff. That's one of the things between pressure canning and water bath canning. Grandma may have water bath canned a lot of things, but she canned them for a long, long time, hours, sometimes 4, 5, 6 hours. She would put them in a canner. It doesn't mean that she necessarily got it up to that heat. It means she just cooked the fire out of it and kept cooking it till it's mush.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even attempt it.
Water bathing is not an option with meat.
Not with meat.
It's got to be pressured, and it's got to be pressured at an hour and a half.
At 10 pounds of pressure, anything below 1,000 feet elevation.
Yes, do not do it any less than that, and do it the right way. Look at the ball book. I stress highly, everybody buy a ball book.
Get you a ball book.
The
older ones are better than the new ones.
And you can still find them on Amazon. If you look, they're still there. Sometimes you can get them really cheap. A lot of people have told me they found them at secondhand stores. When you go in, go look at their old cookbooks and stuff. Sometimes you'll find a ball book stuck in there because people don't use them anymore.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping in, Bruce Art, and have a blessed day.
Also, put water. I see. Jan
put salt in the water.
So the boiling temp would be higher.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about the old ways, yes. They did. That would bring it up some.
Denise says the ball book is a kitchen Bible, and I agree with that.
Okay, Meemaw made 100 subs, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys for going over and being so good to them.
Yeah, Overlook says the same book his wife uses was the one his grandma used. We have 3, and they're about 10 years apart. I can't remember, or 5 years apart, something like that. Like we've got a 90, a 95, and a 2000, I think is what we've got. So we have 3.
Albany Mountain says preserving with salt. Is that possible for most meat? Yes, it is. If you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
All of our forefathers preserved with salt.
Yes.
But you've got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's why we just have not preserved meat with salt.
Yes.
We have a smokehouse, but the heat here, even in the wintertime, we get pretty warm most days, and we don't want to chance meat. And Danny knows his dad talks about.
My dad talked about they had meat in the smokehouse hanging for years. He said you can go out there and be molded over. He said you can cut a piece of it off and go wash it and eat it. You know?
I'm just that if something starts molding over, I'm not really wanting to.
It's a lost art. And Jan is right. I see Jan put up a comment there. If you buy you a pressure cooker, get a gasket to go with it. Get a spare one.
Yes. We ordered extra gaskets for ours. And the pop-off valve.
Yes. And a little rubber pop-off that goes in it.
Yeah. Hey, Janet. She says she stopped in.
Hugs. God bless.
The storms are headed our way. We got to get off here pretty quick. You can smoke and dehydrate meat.
Yes, you can.
Time to Sow says it's flooding there now. So she's a little north of us, I believe. If you had country ham, it has to be cured with salt. Yes. Now that's a good eating.
Now
that's a country ham.
If you can get a country ham, now it's not going to taste like a store-bought ham you get today. Country ham is aged about 6 months to a year, and it has a totally different taste. When I was in Virginia, I stopped by a place and asked them, you know, was to get breakfast one morning, and I told them I wanted country ham. The lady said, "Now, sir, you do understand what country ham is?" And I told her, I said, "Yes, ma'am, I understand completely," and I wanted it, and it was good. Has a different taste, though. Yeah.
Somebody was saying something about they canned sausage back in lard back in the day.
They did. But you cook the sausage and you put it in lard. Yeah.
And North Star is saying that if you have the ability, practice canning on a wood stove or over a fire.
Yes. Now, I agree with that 100%. You can read all the books you want or you can do whatever you want. But until you have firsthand knowledge, you're not going to get it right.
We're wanting to try something like that over an open fire this summer. but I don't want to ruin food that I know that I need. So when I can something, it's going to be something that if it doesn't work, it's not going to be beneficial. It's not going to be detrimental, I guess, is what I'm thinking to us. So we may try canning something over an open fire and seeing how hard it is to get it up to temperature and keep it there and things like that. But I don't want to take my carrots that I have very few of left in the garden and try canning them and spoil them. I'm going to do them the right way. It'll be something that I don't mind.
I didn't know people. Tamara watches the Farmstead Meatsmith. I didn't know how many people actually watch. I watched them for a long time. That's good.
Hey, Planning Alabama. Diana Cole.
Florida Homesteader. Can a jar of water.
Danny has a video.
I have a video on dehydrating water. Yeah.
Works
Hello, country girl.
You can use a piece of sheet metal between the fire and cooker to regulate it.
You can, yes.
That helps.
Yeah. I like to have about an 1/8 to 1/4 inch or 3/16 inch piece of 1/4 inch is better. But or 3/16 might work okay too. But to keep a piece of metal between it.
Practice on roadkill. Well, the problem comes if I practiced on roadkill, trying it to make sure it's okay and I didn't ruin anything. I gotta can something that I don't mind testing and eating in a week or so to see that everything turned out okay. Hey, country girl. Let's see. The leading edge of the storm is just getting
down to
Hammond area.
It's about an hour from us.
Well, the wind's picked up.
The wind's picked up pretty good here, and it's getting dark. So
one piece of country ham equals a gallon of water. You gotta drink water.
That is so true because it is salty. Yes,
right,
sir. But now,
does the piece of metal? Let's see. Does the piece of metal between help with even heat?
Yes.
That's what you're saying. Put the sheet metal there, so
yes, it helps to even out the heat on the bottom of the pressure cooker. If you have a fire going, you can have a hotter flame on one side of it than you do the other side. So if you put a piece of sheet metal under it, what it does is it hits the metal and that metal all gets hot and kind of heats more evenly.
And two, it keeps the smoke off the cooker.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think about that one too.
That's true.
All right, so we need to get off because it is looking a little
dark. Yeah, it's starting to look like
dark.
getting dark here. We probably need to jump off.
It probably looks like we're getting dark.
Yeah.
Darker. And
Overlook Valley, I'm glad you made it to 100. We wanted to help out as many people as we can. And
I see they're going to Country Girl. Check them all out.
Check them all out, guys. We're all about building the community and helping people out. And people helped us out.
Yeah.
When we were at that stage, and we haven't forgotten.
Yeah. And we're going to possibly Saturday night try to do this again. So if you have a channel, be prepared when we say if you have a channel, say I have a channel or whatever. And that gives people, because lots of people see you in the chat. They just don't know that you have a channel.
Yeah.
And if they're like us, if they don't have time to do it, go check. They don't know. There's Mama tried.
Yeah.
Just as we're getting off, but she made it. So, guys, we will see y'all later. We're going to check this weather out. And Danny's probably got a little bit more work over at the cabin he's wanting to do.
Yeah, I want to try to get a little bit more done.
And I'm going to edit.
If you want to see the cabin videos, go over to Patreon. I'm showing most of the steps of building a cabin if you're interested in building one off-grid. Or it can be on-grid. The construction part of it's still the same. But I'm doing this one to code here. Even though I don't have to, I'm still doing it in the event that in the future we ever wanted to sell it or we had to live there, that it would be up to code. So, and we're going to be doing everything off-grid there. So we're going to be showing how to do water systems off-grid. We're going to be putting down a well off-grid. We're going to be doing hand pump wells. We're going to be doing everything over there. And it's just a cabin build, guys. So. And we're going to be showing how to cook in the fireplace over there very soon. So
yeah, and it'll take a while. We're not going to have this done this year. It's going to be step by step as we get it done.
Yeah, we don't have that much money. I mean, it takes time.
And y'all don't expect to see all these processes going on in the next 5 weeks because it won't happen.
Right.
Over the next year. So it took us a year and a half just to get this far.
Just to save up enough money to get what we've got done.
And so we want to save up and get the siding on, the porch, things like that. And then the inside will be after that. And so we're just doing little by little. He wants a well. He just hasn't figured out how he's going to do it yet.
I'm going to do it.
And
I put down one here, a 4-inch, but I just want a hand pump one over there.
Yeah. And you know, I want a little outhouse over there. And we've got things we want done. Yeah. And it's just going to take us time. Right now we have the cabin garden going. I'm fixing to start an herb garden over there and just see how it flourishes in behind the cabin.
Yep.
I've got more cleanup to do, which is something that hadn't happened yet. And can you try canning in the fireplace? As hot as it is, I doubt.
I doubt we'll be able to. Maybe next winter.
In the wintertime, maybe.
Not as hot as it is here now.
We're doing good to get over there early morning, take a fire, cook something, and
we're going to show you how to cook breakfast on an open fire here in the next week.
Hopefully. Because here the problem with us is it gets too hot too fast. It may be 40 in the morning. By 10 o'clock, it's maybe 80 or 90.
Yeah.
So you don't want to heat the house up too much. And then try to have to, because I did this one time trying to show how to cook on a wood stove. I have a video up either on CRAZY DAZES or Deep South 1. I started out, it was cold, and I was making stew, and before I could even get it half done, I had the doors open. I was walking around in shorts and a tank top and burning slam up. That's how fast our temperatures change.
Yeah. And yes, Wildcat, that is exactly correct. That is why summer kitchens existed. My first home as a child had a kitchen separate from the house. Had a wood stove in it, and it was called a summer kitchen. Had a breezeway between the house and that kitchen.
Yeah. Because if we had to cook, and even me cooking with no air conditioning going right now, there's days that I'm like, okay, we've got to get the air conditioning. It works, but we haven't turned it on yet. We're really frugal when we turn the air conditioner on. And so if I'm in the kitchen and like I've got to go make his cookies and a dessert and different things, by the time I do that and cook supper, by 5 to 6 o'clock, it's pretty warm in the kitchen. So that's part of living in the South.
Yep.
It's just part of it.
Okay, guys, we got to jump off of here and get things done. Thank each and every one of you for dropping in here today and being with us on our live chat at dinner time. I pray that each and every one of you received a blessing and that we have been a blessing to you, because you've definitely been a blessing to us. Thank y'all for Deep South Homestead.
Bye, guys.